What is up, Crocs and clan members, Poke fans, and others who still upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today I'm going to be doing a viewer requested video. Before that, I want to apologize for the mess. I'm not at home right now. I'm actually in this resort type place. But anyway, so Desert 100 wanted me to talk about this article that I asked him to link me. And that basically talks about GameFreak having a big announcement in 2015 about some new Pokemon project. So there's some good and bad with stuff like this. For me, usually I'm more on the careful side, especially since Pokemon right now for the past couple years has become a yearly franchise, which whoa, my bad. Which in some games it's a good thing, in some games it's a bad thing. The problem with Pokemon is, yes, it has its intended nature is having a fun experience and just enjoying the game at your own pace. But then there's the deep side. There's the competitive metagame in there, dug deep in there. And with Pokemon, since they change up the formula with each new iteration, it kind of messes you up. It really just completely messes with everything to the point where you honestly need more time. So when you have one of the things that when I took out this article is, I honestly have been saying this for a long time. I do not want a main Pokemon game until at least 2016. And here's why. The thing with Pokemon as a competitive aspect is that stuff takes a long time. Like X and Y was my first time actually dwelling into the competitive aspect of that. And I had to cut that time short because, hey, guess what? Oris is coming out soon. And I was like, dang it. And like they didn't give us enough time to kind of mess with the metagame because they added so many new things and so many more stuff over there. And you have new Mega Evolutions, you have new Pokemon, new moves, new abilities, it's a new type. Basically, just change up the whole formula, and it was a big jump from Black and White 2, where they had new Pokemon there and new moves and new abilities. So when you mess with the metagame as much as Pokemon does with every new game that comes out, you need to give your players time to evolve into that. Because I'm gonna say this right now, this is actually, if you breathe anything less than this, you need to get yourself in check. If you just getting a 4 IV Pokemon, perfect 4 IV Pokemon, takes you hours upon hours. Okay, it takes a really long time to find that perfect Pokemon with the right nature, with the right ability, with the right IV stats. It is a pain in the ass to do. I usually try to go for 5 IVs, which takes even longer, by the way. There's people who try to get the perfect 6 IVs, perfect 6 IVs, shiny, with the right nature and the right ability. That takes a hell of a long time. And it's hours upon hours upon hours, and then you gotta mess with team building and constructing teams, and you gotta test it out to see what works and what doesn't. You gotta move, maybe switch out a Pokemon for another one, maybe switch up some moves, or so it happens a lot. Okay, it's a really hard the competitive aspect of Pokemon is really hard to grasp. So people need time. Now there's people who have like hacks, or they get from a friend who does all the work for them. But even they need time to get into that, right? So it's really hard to get to that level. So when Pokemon becomes a yearly franchise, most of us don't have the time to develop as many teams as we would like, or maybe have as many Pokemon as we want. It's really hard. Okay, it's really hard. And when like I said, for me personally, this is what happened. I was playing X and Y, and I was like, hey, I actually want to get into competitive this time because I actually feel like I understand it more. But it's a lot easier in X and Y because Black and White, before X and Y, I did not understand the basics. I mean, I could, I did research a bit, but it was just way too complex for me personally. So I kind of didn't want to bother with it. But they became simpler for maybe the average player like I was, 'cause I usually just play Pokemon for the hell of it. Um, I never delved into the competitive aspect. So for a newbie like me, it was actually really good, and I was able to get some experience, start breeding for. Like I said, I usually just aim for 5 IVs because usually there's one IV I don't really care about. So if I'm not gonna need that IV, I'm just not gonna bother with it. For example, a tank, a really slow, bulky tank, I don't need speed for that thing, right? So you just don't get the perfect speed IV. But anyways, so it's that kind of idea. So when I see this article, I'm begging to the masses, I'm begging to GameFreak, do not release the next Pokemon main game. You have technically two projects you could be working on. You have the Pokemon Pikachu detective game thingamajig, whatever the heck it was, and then you have Pokemon Fighters, or Pokemon Tournament, whatever the heck it is. I think it's Pokemon Fighters Tournament, something along that. You have that, right? So we can get more information on that stuff, or heck, the thing that I want, the next console Pokemon game. Like I've been waiting. Like Revolution was honestly garbage. Like it wasn't as bad as people think, but it was really bad compared to the previous ones. I want the new Gale Darkness Coliseum. That's what I want. I want to see them create a new game that's kind of like those, with its own new environment, or it can even be in Aura. I don't really care. It could be in the same place, just a couple years after what happened back then with Pokemon Cypher. What Team Cypher? What? Was it Team Cypher? No, I think. Yeah, Team Cypher was the last one. It was before that was Team Sniper. But so maybe or just create a whole new world that they can be working with. I need a Wii U because I just got a Wii U, right? So I'm really excited, but I'm missing my Pokemon, so it's like, come on, give me my new game. So there's little stuff like this that they could be doing, okay? Like we don't need the next main game. I don't want Pokemon Z until 2016. I don't need a new Pokemon game next year. I'm still working with Auras, okay? I'm not even done with Delta episode and Omega Ruby. I still gotta play Alpha Sapphire, and then I gotta get back into the metagame to get new megas. I need to get a lot of Mega Stones. I need to get the breeding done. It's a lot of work, and I'm not gonna waste my time if all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, Pokemon Z's coming out," because it's like, well, what the heck is the point of me wasting hours upon hours upon hours if I'm not even gonna be using that stuff in the new game, because it's probably gonna be new stuff, and that's not gonna help me with the stuff I make here. Oh my gosh, I need to calm down. But that's just my thing. I really do not want a main story, main game in 2015. I do not want it. I do not need it. Game Freak, if you somehow watch this video, do not release Pokemon Z next year. Give it to us 2016. It can even be early 2016. Just don't do it next year. There's no need for Pokemon to become a yearly franchise. It doesn't need it. It survives on its own. People aren't gonna forget about it. Trust me. It's a big deal again. It's not. People aren't gonna forget about it. Well, that's just me. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. I can't really go too much more into that. Like I said, we actually don't know. We just have to wait and see. Like I said, I hope that it's not Pokemon Z. I do not want Pokemon Z. I'm gonna buy it regardless, but I'm not gonna be happy about it. I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Desert 100. I hope that I was somewhat informative or something along those lines. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.